Welcome to another Powerful Business Ideas. This is actually about the 5-step of disciplines. And discipline is something which is very close to my heart. It's something which I believe is probably one of the strongest protocol systems that will get you from one place to another. So how do you get a miracle going? How do you change from things to be stagnating to actually moving? It's all a matter of discipline. It begins with one step and doing what you can do. Discipline enables you to capture your emotion and wisdom, and it translates them into an action. Something which was not working before. Discipline to me is a magic word. If you think about that, it's actually the bridge between a thought and an accomplishment. Something that you were thinking about doing, but you actually get it done. It's also a bridge between an inspiration and an achievement. I would like to. I'm inspired. I desire. I have a wish. The achievement is the end result, which is created by the discipline. It's a bridge between necessity and productivity. Necessity meaning it is something which is really needed, truly needed. Productivity means that they actually got done. You see, I find people sometimes don't pay attention to their time, and there's a great danger in looking at an undisciplined day and concluding at the end of the day that it's not a big deal. It's just one day in my life. But add up these days and they make up weeks. Add up these weeks and they'll make up months. And add up these months and they'll make up years which will make up your life. That's a true failure. Success, however, is the process in reverse, is making sure that every single year, every single month, every single week, every single day, and every moment becomes something of great value, that you actually do something about it. Discipline is the magic key that unlocks all the doors. And I'm talking about happiness, culture, high self-esteem, pride, joy, accomplishment, satisfaction, success, you name it. So there are 5 steps that we can identify basically about discipline. Number 1 is the awareness. If you're aware that discipline is a necessary component, something that is valuable that you'll have to take upon yourself to change. The value of discipline is to make the necessary change when it has to be done. Be aware that this is an important component and this is part of your life if you want to achieve, if you want to succeed, if you want to grow. A second step is willingness. It's a certain eagerness within yourself to have an ambition that will be translated into an action. It's a new discipline and is consistent, something that you want to change and that will always help you grow. The willingness means that you really want to make things happen and you want to make these true changes. Number 3 on our steps is a commitment to master the circumstances in life. You have to see the opportunities, seize them, and actually change them for the good. Make sure that they become what they need to be. When you see a circumstance in life, you decide for yourself that the circumstance is actually an opportunity. Not negative, but a positive opportunity. Something that you can change, something that you can use. Number 4, which is important as a 5-step of discipline, is that small disciplines have to be started to be successful. You can't just wake up one morning and say, from now on, I'm going to eat right, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to go to sleep on time, I'm going to be nice to my spouse and my friends, I'm going to be on time wherever I go, I'm going to do this. And you can't. It's too much. It's too many things. Know that if you take one small step, one small discipline at a time, choose whichever one you wish, but let it be consistent. And you need to persevere on that because everything affects everything else. Negatively or positively, it will affect it. So if you take one step, one definite concept, and you say, this is what I'm going to do from now on, this new discipline will build on to other discipline. So the key is to make a list of the disciplines that you would like to implement in your life and decide which one should you take on this week. Which one will become easy. Now, don't take too many of them. I'm telling you for a fact that if you take more than one per week, you're going to fail. But if you take one, and every single week, or every other week if need be, you add on another one, you just have to make sure that the previous one that you've added has been consistently implemented and implemented properly. Here's the last step on the 5-step of discipline. That is that you have to determine that you will do your best. And ask yourself the question, if the best that I can do is all I can do? You know, it's interesting, in my prayer book, which I use every single day, and at the end of the day, I have a little card there. And when I say my prayers at the end, I have these couple sentences that I read. And here's what it says. Today was a great day, and tomorrow will be even better. And then right below that, it says, is everything I have done today the most that I could have done? And then it says, could I have done more? By reading these few sentences every single night, it reminds me of what I can do, what I have done, and what I'm supposed to do tomorrow. It gives me the strength. There's no way that anyone can say every single day has been extremely successful, phenomenally fruitful, and unbelievably productive. Everyone, sometime in their lives, has a wasted time here and there. Very few people can claim that they've had perfect score every single day of their lives. If anything, until they become mature, most of their lives have been, if not wasted, at least not fully productive. But once you become an adult and you take on maturity, which is the best thing that could happen to any human being, and that is to take on the maturity of being, at that moment, self-sufficient and conscientious about time, how important time is. Now, from that moment onward, you need to determine that you want to do your best. And what can you do? How can you go? What will be the next step? What will be there? It will be a human action and a will in action. And if it's driven by a certain type of inspiration, something that will make you feel better, and it could be enticed by either the desire to succeed or the desire to grow or accumulate things, whatever your desire is, and it's guided by intelligence, you can change your destination. Now, initially, you will only change direction. You can change direction anytime you wish. Not if I could, I would, but if I would, I could. If I can, I will. And if I will, I can. Once you repeat these words and you understand them and you realize what they are, you can make any change that you wish. You could take a disciplined thought and admitting your errors. Once you recognize the limitations, discipline is the constant awareness of the need for action. And once it's paired with a conscientious effort to implement that action, you now become a very disciplined person. That's what it's all about. Now, sometimes we become a little bit lazy, or perhaps not lazy, but despondent. I'm not sure I can do that. I don't know. That act of conscientiousness where we believe that we may have a limited concept, limited strength, or limited power. This is the time when discipline will teach you that you should not be limited, or at least not limiting your mind, that you can do anything that you want. You see, your thoughts will lead you to words. As we think different things in our mind, and thoughts continuously come to our mind, we then decide what will become words. From the words, they will become something that we do, which is an action. The action, once repeated over a period of time, will become a habit. And a habit will actually forge our character, which at the end will decide of our destiny. And that's the path. I want you to remember that. Thoughts translated into words will become action. Action repeated will become habits. Habits will fashion our own character, which will design and dictate our destiny. Once you learn that and you understand this concept, you will realize that it's quite important to make sure that at all times you start with your thoughts, because eventually that'll become your destiny. So even your thoughts have to know where they are. You have to know where you are. You have to determine and persevere on this, making sure that the type of lifestyle that you're designing is the key to your happiness and the future success. How would you do that? By disciplining yourself every aspect of the way. So here's the exercise, which is not that difficult. Take a piece of paper and write down at least the 20 things that you would like to become in matters of disciplining yourself. At least 20. If you can do more, then go ahead and do more. And each one of them, of those, take the simplest one, the thing that you can implement the fastest, easiest way possible. Once you do that, rearrange them on your sheet by orders of simplicity. Take the easiest one first and write them down. And then as they become harder, they're the ones next on your list. Then pick a day. And I would recommend you to choose today. There's no reason to wait. Starting today, go ahead and take on that first discipline and work at it. Now, next to that discipline, write down some of the things that you want to make sure that you will have to do in order to implement it properly. You have to internalize it. You have to accept it. You have to develop it. It can't just be something that you do on the side. It has to become true action. And because of that, you'll have to decide, what can I make it faster, better, greater? What can I do to do that? So once you do this, then read it to yourself every single day for the next week. If you see that you have changed that discipline and implemented it in your life properly, and now you can keep on going, then go to the next one. If you have not, keep at it for another week and another week. Now you may say, well, how do I know that it works? So let's say, for instance, that you're disciplining yourself that every single day you will read for 10 minutes. 10 minutes a day, that's all it takes. And by the way, you should know that I have, at all times, 3 books in my bedroom on my night table. 3 books. And I do not go to sleep unless I take each book and I at least read a paragraph from each. This helps me know and helps me grow. You cannot even imagine how many books over the years I have read because of this. Now sometimes I am so intake of the book that I read or the chapter that I'm about to engender. It is so enthralling to me, so exciting, or for whatever reason, just interesting, then I keep on going. And I'll read sometimes more than 1 or 2 or 3 chapters. Sometimes, because of the hour of the night that is so late, or how busy I was during that day or that week, I am so exhausted that I can only read a few lines. But that's okay. As long as I read those few lines, then my discipline, which I have put in my life years ago, then I keep on meeting it and I keep on doing it. And that's what it takes. So let's assume you had decided that this is what you were going to do. Read 10 minutes each day. And let's say you do it at night. Because something about discipline is not something that you can do at any time. You can't say, if I'm going to read, I'll find the day. No, you have to pick a time. Either the morning or the evening or 1 o'clock every single day, 10 o'clock at night, before going to sleep, whatever it is. But it has to be consistent. If you need more than a week, or if you see at the end of the week you have not quite mastered it. Then you need to add another week and another week, however many weeks that you'll need to do. Now don't take too long, because then it won't be serious. And see that if you can't do it, ask yourself, what is the reason? Why can't I just implement this one discipline? And that's why it's important to start with small steps, not big steps, because you won't make it. You won't make it, then you'll be disappointed and frustrated, and then nothing will happen. So it's a powerful business idea for you, and I'm looking forward to hearing great news. Good luck, and God bless you.
If you like what you've heard, please let us know by leaving a comment below. We would really appreciate if you would be kind enough to like, share, and even subscribe. Feel free to follow us on Facebook. Follow us on